Hi, I'm Steve Dagnald, and this is the execution section to my lecture on NIST's Cybersecurity Framework 2.0. Thank you for listening. A business that is starting from scratch with risk management and information security is a unicorn. An existing organization that is listening to this lecture can't flip a switch to begin doing everything they want. The first execution is governance at the board level. Assuming that the board has a compelling reason to be looking at risk-managed information security with a business-minded lens implies that at least one of the C-suite, preferably the chairman or CEO, see information security as an existential, enterprise-wide strategic imperative. That's the only reason why a board should be taking up something of this nature directly themselves. Boards pay organizations like Deloitte millions of dollars to fashion multi-year engagements to create robust information security programs that check all the boxes, but don't quite deliver and somehow require ongoing hand-holding for additional millions of dollars. No board should be satisfied with this kind of arrangement. Chiefs don't delegate the raising of their babies. The C-suite has to own the top-line governance of this function. This is not to say that a board-level relationship with an organization like Deloitte can't be a critically important addition to the effort. The difference is they are helping the board, and chiefs do it, not doing it for them. The cultural benefit to an organization when leadership champions a mission can't be overstated, and the importance of risk management and information security warrants this attention in order to succeed. Once the board buys in, it starts with the general counsel and a legal-oriented CISO. The first hurdle might be a general counsel who wants nothing to do with it, or a long-standing IT loyalist who's CISO and doesn't have a formal legal background. Attitudes are everything, even at the board level. No one needs to be replaced, but the GC has to buy in, and that maybe the CISO brings in an executive consultant who is a JD from George Washington University, specializing in information security. Once the board is familiar with the governance actions described previously, a reporting and meeting routine and schedule is agreed, and we proceed with execution of the strategy section objectives. Some kind of organizational kickoff or town hall led by the board will get everyone's attention, set the stage for a risk and security-oriented culture, and establish a two-way expectation in everyone's mind if the board continues to lead the way. What's noteworthy is that work products of the strategy execution require input from each tower's middle managers and individual contributors. The SIMP, inventories, and relationship diagrams will be internally visible. The managers and contributors will see their business and technical inputs to the planning and documentation. A critical element of this approach to strategy execution is we're only looking at what exists and is in use today. None of this should be aspirational. There should be no future go-live dates, no matter how concrete they seem to be, unless they are truly imminent. There are no aspirational policies. If a policy is incomplete or not being met, that will be identified as a gap during prioritization and planning. The objective here is to know what we have and what we're doing with it today. An organization shouldn't be trying to introduce new changes without assessment. I am not saying to stop business plans and implementations already in progress or agreed to start near term. The premise to this approach is the strategic need to make significant improvements to a risk management and information security function that is not performing as the organization needs it to. But that can't be done properly before we have a line in the sand understanding of the current state. Lists of IT and non-IT execution work products are in the description below. The second phase of this approach to strategy execution is prioritization, identifying gaps in the current state, and a 1 to 3 year plan. Prioritization is based on business requirement criticality and includes considerations related to regulatory, industry, and jurisdiction requirements and continuity resilience. The primary drivers for planning are funding, resource availability, and resource expertise. IT concerns can experience excessive technical debt. Continuing to avoid remediation of technical debt is a business decision that should be entertained with eyes open. Multifunctional teams of business, IT, and partner stakeholders should collaborate when creating modernization and capability maturity roadmaps. Business requirements and criticality are principal drivers. Teams should be realistic and avoid high-risk aspirations. Resources and funding can't be assumed to appear. Track progress and adjust on a quarterly cadence. Let business concerns drive decisions to make objective and scheduling changes.